Hello everyone, and welcome to this afternoon's Shopify webinar. And today we have with us from Shopify, we have Gary Mullen in the background, but really the main protagonists today are our two gurus in this subject. We have Michelle Duffy-Rudden and we have Brian Kelly. Michelle Duffy started off in markets. She's a social entrepreneur. She has sped through, she did Dragon's Den, and she's now a digital marketing consultant and helps lots of people on the digital marketing route. Brian Kelly comes from all the way from Galway, I understand, to us today, and he's been with Shopify for 3 years and he looks after customer success. So as we've done before, please put your questions in the Q&A or the chat box. I'm going to hand over to these guys now and enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Emer. So let's get started. So today's webinar is about the benefits of Shopify to your craft and design enterprise. So I know that these are really challenging times for everybody. And Shopify is here to help. That's the main point I want to get across first of all. Brian and I deal with merchants just like you every day who are maybe selling online for ages or just pivoting online now. So whether it's your first time to try selling online or you've given it a go and maybe got stuck, we're here to help. So I'm going to run through the benefits and then Brian is going to show you how simple it is to go from starting your store with us to actually having a product live. So the first benefit I'm going to talk about is the fact that you're building your own brand when you have a Shopify store. So this is not like when you're on a marketplace and you make beautiful blankets, but somebody is shopping for blankets and seeing all your competitors as well. With Shopify, this is your own store. So you can connect up your own domain, brand it up as you want, and you're really building your own business. The next thing is that there's an excellent customer experience. So as much as we want you to have a good time building your store and running it on Shopify, it's really important for your business that your customer also has a good experience when they're shopping with you. So we're here to make commerce great for everyone, and that includes your end customer, who we don't have a lot of contact with, but without them putting orders in with you, it's not a business. So I know in some of your previous webinars recently, you've talked about what that should look like in terms of getting them to the checkout in as few clicks as possible. So everything is very fast, but also very safe and secure. So there's a trust element there where your customers feel safe on your website, giving you their sensitive information. SEO, so search engine optimization. There's no magic spell that we can wave and make SEO brilliant for everyone, but the tools are there from day one that you can optimize your site. It loads quickly, it works well on mobiles, images work well right from day one on Shopify. So you can go ahead and build your content and run your ads and just work on making your SEO even better. There's 24/7 support with Shopify. So I know Brian and I and Gary are a bit biased in that we think we're the best support in the world. But the reason it's so good is because it's free, always available, and the most important thing is we're human. So we're not just tech support who'll tell you to turn it off and back on again. If something is technically not working, of course, we'll help. But it could be that you don't understand how to increase your conversions. It could be that you don't know why people are putting things in the cart and not checking out. It could be that you've seen a competitor's site load better or work better, or you just don't know how those things are done. So whatever your question is, we're here to help. So we're here to walk you through what you're going through, not just the technicalities of it, but also to help you with some strategies to actually grow your business. So these are the different ways that you can reach support. So some people prefer the instant chats and some people prefer to call us and actually talk to us over the phone. And for that, again, you could be up to your eyeballs. You don't have time for those kind of conversations and you just want to send it off in an email and we'll come back to you when we can. And then obviously you can get us on social media as well. We've got an app store, and what that means is extra features. So right from day one, a Shopify store has most of the things most people need, but then sometimes there's extra features needed, and people might want to add in something customized. It could also be that you want to maybe migrate information over from another e-commerce platform. So there's apps there to make that easier. But that's not to say that you have to pick one or the other. So if you've got Etsy or Amazon or eBay or something that's working really well for your business and you want to come to Shopify, that doesn't mean you have to abandon everything you've built up. You can actually integrate them as well and have it that if somebody buys it from one of those external places, your inventory is all synchronized. So we're here for whatever works for your business. That's what the App Store looks like. You can search in there for whatever your kind of wish list is, and there's usually an app to help. We also have Facebook and Instagram shopping. So this is where your customers can buy right from social media. So you've probably seen this when you're scrolling on Instagram. So most of you has such visually, it's so important visually to market your products on a platform like Instagram, that even if you're not having massive success or have a really complicated strategy yourself yet, I'm sure you're on there scrolling for ideas and inspiration and what everyone else is doing. And when you see those tags in an Instagram post, they're one tap away, and you know, the phone's in their hand, they're one tap away from a step closer to checkout. So that is done by integrating a Facebook shop, because Facebook owns Instagram. Once your products are approved, so it can't be digital products, it has to be physical ones to work on Instagram and Facebook. You can sell digital ones on Shopify, but for this Facebook and Instagram shopping, it needs to be physical stuff. So if you've seen that done and wondered how that happens, that's done through Shopify as well. And these days, people are bored at home and they're scrolling and scrolling on social media, and you've got a little bit more of their attention than you had when they were busy and hectic and running around the place. They're spending longer and they're not scrolling through things and swiping out of things as quickly. And then we also have POS, a point of sale. So this is where we have card readers and all the hardware you could need to sell in person. Now, I know that used to mean craft fairs, pop-up shops, trade shows, all those great things. And we will get back to that eventually. Things will return to normal. But even for now, people are finding this really useful for in-person cashless sales. So nobody wants to be handling money at the moment. So maybe you do have something where you can do local drop-offs or curbside pickup or something of that nature, and they can use their contactless card, or even if it's a chip and pin thing, you can sanitize it down afterwards. And a lot of people are moving to these so that they can handle those kind of transactions right now. So that is just some of the benefits of our platform. It's also built to be user-friendly. You don't have to become a web developer overnight. You don't have to become, you know, we hear it all the time, especially from creative people like yourselves, that, you know, I'm not a tech savvy kind of person. You don't have to understand the nuts and bolts behind it. We do all of that, and you just have to go on, upload your products. There's a help center with loads of free guides in there. There's free videos, free online courses. There's tons of stuff. And like I said, you can lean on us at any time and we'll walk you through if you are getting stuck. We've also, in the COVID-19 times, we have extra help and resources there. So there is a 90-day free trial at the moment instead of 14 days. We've also made gift cards available on all plans. We've made gift cards available on all plans. What that means is it used to be from our kind of middle tier and upwards, and on our basic plan, you couldn't sell gift cards, but we realized that it's so important to businesses right now to have that little bit of income right now, and your customers can redeem them in the future. So especially for those of you who relied so heavily on the gift market for your creations, your customer can still buy a gift card for your online store and pass that on to whoever's birthday it is. Or I know there's been a lot of weddings postponed, but people are still want to mark those special dates. So that's just some of the benefits to our platform, along with how easy it is to use, which Brian is going to show you now. He's going to go from literally signing up to Shopify right through to having a live product. And then after Brian's finished, we will go through any questions that you have.
Okay, thanks very much, Michelle. Brian here, and for the next 30 minutes or so, I'm just going to show you some of the steps needed to set up your Shopify store. It would actually be possible to set up and start selling within 30 minutes, but for the most part, you're going to want to take your time, set it up exactly as you want it, brand it how you want it. So what we're going to do today is show you some of those essentials, setting up your store. Like the setup process, which is very, very quick, adding a domain, adding a product, adding a collection, which I guess is your groups of your products when you're grouping them together, adding a theme. How is it actually going to look when people visit it? How you actually accept payments. So I'll be talking a little bit about Shopify payments and PayPal. And then we'll have a look at what an order actually looks like. So when someone orders from you, what that actually looks like on the screen and how do you handle it. So it all starts here. We are on the Shopify.com homepage. And top right hand corner there's a button that says start free trial. So if we click on that, we have a little pop up here. It says start your free 90-day trial. So as Michelle just mentioned there, in terms of COVID-19, the trial time used to be 14 days, now it's 90 days. So that gives you a lot more time to kind of get your store as you want it. We're going to ask you for 3 pieces of information: the email address, password, and then finally your store name, and then click on create your store, and this will begin your trial. Now, once you actually click that, I think there's another little page asking you just for contact information just in relation to your account, but you will see something like this, which is the Shopify admin. This is the back end. This is where you go in and do all the things you need to do to operate your store. The first page you'll see will be something like this. This is the home page of the admin. And here you'll either have alerts or notifications from us. So you can see there at the top, it says, I need to enter a VAT number, which I don't think is a requirement, but it's a notification for me at least. You can also have, there'll also be suggestions for things to do. So when you start your page for the first time, we'll kind of guide you. You know, you can see here, add a product, customize your theme, add domain. So we'll try and move you along as much as we can. Over on the left-hand side, we have our main menu. So I'm going to go through this quite quickly. Some of it's fairly self-evident, but I'm sure there'll be questions about all of it. We have our orders. So if we click on that, you'll have all of your orders that have come through on the store. Now, this is a kind of a little test store that I've set up just for this. So you can see that I've got one order that I ran through earlier on. But say, for example, if you have a very successful day, you have 300, 400 orders in one day, they'll all appear here and you'll be able to filter through them, depending on their payment status or their fulfillment status, or, have they been shipped? Have they not been shipped? You'll be able to filter them that way. Products, which is next over on the left-hand side, this is where all of your products are going to appear. So I've got 2 products in there at the moment, Bird Sun Hat and Vibrant Sun Hat. I'll be talking a little bit more about those later because we'll be adding another product. But again, you'll be able to, let's imagine that you have 1,000 products and you're like, how do I find this product as quickly as possible? You'll be able to go in there and filter by the name, or if you can filter it by the product vendor, or if it's available or unavailable. So again, it's all about efficiency, getting you the result you want as quickly as possible. We'll continue down the left-hand side. You've got your customers. So if we click on that, you'll have a list of all of the customers that have purchased, or in the case of abandoned checkouts, that nearly purchased. And you can see here up along the left, you've got, we can filter these, whether they're from Ireland. We can click on email subscribers and we'll see all of the people who are actually who are on your email marketing list. By the way, important to note at this point that if you already have an email marketing list and you're wondering now what to do with it, you can click in import customers and you'll be able to import a CSV file or a spreadsheet of that customer information. Okay, next, analytics. So this is where we have all of our store insights, and you'll be able to, for example, you can do it by time, so we can say today, the last month, the last year. You'll be able to get all of the information, the examples being your online store conversion rate, where your traffic is coming from, what country people are actually visiting your store from. Lots of important information there that you can make use of. Next, we have marketing. So in terms of marketing, you have the ability within Shopify to create Facebook ads, to create Google ads. And you can see here, not front and center, we have Shopify email is now available. So Shopify now has its own email marketing application right there in the admin, so you can contact all of your email subscribers in, if you've got new platforms or new platforms, if you've got new products. Or if you've a discount, for example, which is the next section. If down here on the left, we click on discounts, you have the ability to create discount codes, or you can create automatic discounts. So let's say, for example, that if a person purchases 2 of a particular product, they will automatically get 1 of another product free, that kind of thing. So you have the ability to create your discounts there. Michelle already mentioned apps, and we have an apps section. Top right hand corner there, you have the ability to visit the Shopify App Store. So there's roughly around 3,000 apps with all sorts of functionality that you would be able to add into your store. And by the way, some of those apps, due to COVID-19, have also extended their trial times. So it's worth checking that as well. We have some examples here. The order printer, which would be for printing invoices and labels and receipts, which would be very useful for shipping. Product reviews. So if you want to show examples of happy customers who are reviewing their your products on the store, you can actually show those as well. Okay, so that's a very quick run through the kind of main menu there, but let's dig into it a little bit. Say, for example, first bit of branding that you want to do is you want to add a domain. Let's say you have a .ie email address in your possession. You've purchased it from Black Knight or whatever it might be, and you're wondering, how do I add it to my store? So click on Online Store over on the left-hand side. We have a few more options here. We'll be going into these in due course, but we're going to click on Domains, and we should see a page like this. There we go. And we have 2 options. We have the ability to buy a domain. Now, currently it's not possible to buy a .ie domain, but you can purchase a .com or .net or whatever it might be. But you do have the ability to buy a domain through Shopify, and that'll be directly connected. Or you can click on a Connect Existing Domain. And if you do, you'll be presented with this. You can just put in the domain in question and click on Next. If it were a .ie domain, you would see something like this. Here's one I prepared earlier. You can see the domain is .ie, and you would have a button there to basically view instructions. That'll take you to Shopify's Help Center, which is our kind of library of help documents. This is probably the point where you'll go, oh, what am I doing? And that is the point where you should feel absolutely free to call or chat in or email Shopify, because this is the kind of thing I would deal with all the time. So do feel absolutely free to call in when it comes to things like this, and we will be absolutely sure to help you out 24/7. So that is our domains. Now we've got our domain in place. Let's try and add some products. So top left-hand corner, I'm going to click on the product list. Now you can see I've got a bird sun hat and I've got a vibrant sun hat. I'd love to claim responsibility for these, but I have kind of corralled. My wife has been making sun hats for our nieces and nephews, and I was like, well, what products can I put together for this demonstration that'll be, vaguely relevant to it? So these aren't actually on sale, although feel free to contact me after. But what we're going to do is we're going to add another one of these. So top right-hand corner, we have Add Product. Click on that, and you're going to see an interface like this. And it'll load up for us. And there we have it. Okay, there we are. That's what I'm looking for. So I'll just scroll down through it. A lot of information there that we can potentially put in. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to put in a title. So I'm going to call this the Animal Sun Hat. Why not? And I'm going to say description. Now I'm going to give a very basic description. I'm going to say this is our new animal sun hat. And I'm going to fix the spelling there as well. So I'm just going to put that in. You could now, the product description is where you're going to give all of the information. You could talk about the materials used. You could talk about the kind of genesis of the idea behind the product. Whatever information you want to go into, you can place there. I'm going to keep it very minimal for now. We've got media. So what are we going to put here? We're going to put an image. We could put as many images as we want. I'm going to just put that in there now. And I happen to have one on my desktop here, so I'm going to put that in, and there we have it. That's the, I think that's going to our nephew. So scrolling down, I'm going to add a few more details in here. We have pricing, so I'm going to say that this is €20, because why not? We also have the ability to have a compare at price. Now, a compare at price is if we want to show that a product is on sale. So let's say, for example, we want to show that this is €20, which is knocked down from €25. So in the compare at price, we would put the old price. And on the website, that will now show, it'll show 25 with a strike through it, and next to it, it'll show 20, which is our discounted price. I'm going to leave that blank for now. Underneath that, we've got cost per item. So this is where we would put in the cost of all of the cost of what it takes to actually make the product in the first place, whether that's materials or transportation or the work that's gone into it, whatever it might be, we would put in there. Well, I'll keep going down through this. We have the ability to charge tax on the product. Say, for example, it might be a digital product. It might be a you might have in terms of creating products, you might have a kit that you can send out to people so that they can actually create their own versions of that product. You might need to charge tax on that, you might not. So you would just make sure that's checked or unchecked if need be. Under that, we've got inventory. If you have SKU numbers, stock keeping units, or barcodes, you can put them in there. You don't need to have them, but if you have them, why not? We have the ability, Shopify has the ability to track quantity for you. So if that's checked, we can say we've got 100 of this item, and we can also list it that we continue selling when out of stock. So you don't have the stock in right now, but you know you'll have it in 3 or 4 days. We can continue selling it for now, knowing that we're going to have that stock in a few days' time. This will continue on in terms of shipping. We can say that this is a physical product. I mentioned downloads and digital files earlier on. So if it were a download or something like that, you would uncheck that box. We'll put the weight. Now, I've absolutely no idea what a sun hat would weigh. I'm going to say 0.3 kilograms, and feel free to correct me. But we would put in any weights that any products might have. We can put in customs information, select country of origin, so we can where it's actually coming from. Now, variants. Because it might be the case that you have variants of a product. You might have different sizes, you might have different colors, you might have different patterns, whatever it might be. So we can check the box, and I'm going to say that for this animal print sun hat, I'm going to say it's available in medium and large. And why not? I might as well put in different colors as well. So I'm not quite sure how that would work, but let's say red and blue. So let's say the main color is red or the main color is blue, just to show you as an example. So we have our options, and when we scroll down, we can see that we now have for each variant combination, medium red, medium blue, large red, large blue, we actually have the ability to go in and individually change the price, the quantity. We can put in SKUs for each individual variant. So if, for example, I can say the quantity, just put in a few different values there, and there we are. So those are the variants. At the very bottom of the page, we have your search engine listing preview. So this is how things are actually going to appear on Google. Top right-hand corner of that box, edit website SEO. If we click on that, we can provide a page title. We can put in the description. So this will be a little bit, this could be the same description as you have above, which Google would pull automatically, or maybe you want a particular, you want something to appear particularly on Google, you could put in the description there. We also have the URL and handle if you want to change that. Top right-hand corner, we're going to go right up to the top and over to the right-hand side. I want to show you this section here, which is the organization section. So this is all for you. This isn't something that the customers are going to see. This is basically for your own administration. So say, for example, in this case, what product type is this? Well, we could say, you know what, I'm going to say this is a sun hat, and when I am creating collections or whatever I might be doing down the line, I have the ability to specify what type of product that is. We can do so with the vendor as well. Last thing I'm going to do here on this page is add a tag. Again, this is not something that the customers are going to see. This is something that you would use just for your own purposes when it comes to grouping products. So I'm going to give this the tag summer, which is quite optimistic this time around, but I'll put it in there. I'm going to say sun hat because it is a sun hat, and I'm not going to say it's on sale, but I have that for the other products. So I'm going to click on save, and here we go. We have, I'm hoping, a product page. Now, you might be wondering what this actually looks like. Well, here's one I prepared earlier, and we're going to be talking about this later on. This is my little crafts page that I created. It took me about 20 minutes earlier on. Might look like it. If you want to actually see what a product page looks like, I'll just show you an example. It'll look like this. So you'll have your variants as we have created. You'll have the ability to add to cart, the price, and also the description as well. Okay, so we have our product, and now we want to have a collection of products. We want to group them together in whatever way we can, so we make it as efficient as possible for your customers to find the products. So just underneath products on the left-hand side, go to collections. I have a collection in there already. By the way, when Shopify says collections, what we mean is a category of products. And I have a category in there already called sun hats. Now, this is an example of a manual collection. There's two types of collection. One is manual, where you basically pick and choose the products that go into a collection. So you have a long list of products and you say, okay, well, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. They are going to go into a collection. They're going to be grouped together. And that's what I've done here. I've got products. I can click on browse and I can check or uncheck whatever products I want to go into that collection. And if you want to see what that collection looks like, I'm going to click on view, and that's how a collection is actually going to appear. There's another type of collection as well, which is an automated collection. So let's imagine that you've got 300, 400, 500 products, and you're not necessarily keen on manually adding them in each time. You can set a condition. So I'm going to show you an example here. We'll create a collection. We're going to say that this is going to be the summer collection. We don't need a description for this one. And then we have the ability, when we create a new collection, we can say it's a manual collection or it's an automated collection. So we can set a condition. So we can say, we can set the condition depending on the title, depending on the price, depending on the weight. However we want to do it, we can group products together like this. So do you remember I added a tag called summer to that last product? I am going to say that any product with the tag summer, where the product is equal to summer, it's going to be automatically pulled. Sorry, but my hand looked very frightening doing that. That's much better. That is going to pull those products automatically into this collection. So let's click on save. And without you having to go in and do any adding, we've, oh, they're updating. Try refreshing this list in a minute. Interesting. What should happen is that any products that meet that condition will appear here. Now, it's possibly because they've been very, very recently added that's coming up. You know what? I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes because we'll see what's going on there. Now, what we have there is we've got our products. We've created a collection. We will have created a collection. But how does this all actually look? I showed you an example earlier on of the website, that I put together quite quickly earlier on. And there we are. And I'll just go back to the front page. That's the password page. And I'm just going to bypass that. And that's taking it. And there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So this is the theme. So the theme is it's the look of the store. It's the feel of the store. It's putting something together that your customers can navigate as quickly as possible and be as appealing to them as possible. So how do we actually put something like this together? What we can do is we go to our online store section here. And the first thing that comes up is our themes. So you can have up to 9 themes on your store, and you can kind of be working on them. You'll have one published, and then you can have 8 or so in the background that you can be working on. So at the moment, we've got this theme, which is the debut theme. Now, the debut theme comes up as a default for all Shopify stores when a trial begins. You do have the ability to add other themes, by the way. If we click on explore free themes, these are 8 themes here that are created by Shopify, and all quite different, all have their own unique features and are well worth checking out, because you might prefer the appearance of some of these to others. You also have the ability to visit the theme store, where you can purchase themes that have been created by third parties as well. For now though, we've got the debut theme, and I'm going to click on the customize button. And now we're going to go in and make a few changes and have it appear exactly as we would like. And okay, it's loading up for me. I think we're currently running at northeast Galway speeds when it comes to my broadband, but we should be 1 second and we'll bring it up. And by the way, just to describe exactly what we're going to see, over on the left-hand side, you're going to have all of your sections. So if we look at the web page here, every single thing we see here is a section. This is your header section at the top with your logo and your navigation. Then we have a gallery section, which is just some images that I've placed in there. A slideshow or banner section where we can have, we can give more information about the product or a direct link to a product, and then we can have a collection load up as well. So let me go back there. Hey, that's exactly what I was looking for. Now, when you first go in, it's going to appear like this. It's going to be entirely blank. It's going to be a lot of sections. Couple of things. If you want to add a section, you can click just at the bottom of the list here on the left, click on add section, and you'll see all of the different types of little section that can appear on a page. 1 second. And not quite sure why it's refreshing, but there we go. Okay, so if you click on add section, as I did there a couple of seconds ago, you should have a list of possible sections. So blog posts, a list of your collections, a featured collection. I mean, as you go down through it, you'll see you have the ability to add video. You can add a map actually showing the location of your store if it's a physical store. There's lots of things you can add in there. For the moment, there's a lot going on here. So say, for example, I didn't necessarily want that image with text overlay to appear. I could click on that, and I could go in and I could remove a section. So you can add sections, you can remove sections, you can actually move them up and down as well. So you have these little sliders. Let's say, for example, I want the gallery to appear at the very top. I would just pull that up there so the gallery appears. Now, what actually, I mean, it's blank at the moment. So how do we actually add an image to the gallery? Well, we just click into gallery, click on image, and select an image. So we can upload our own image if we have one. A rather useful thing, by the way, is Shopify, in conjunction with Burst, provides free images. So let's say if I clicked on explore free images, let's say, for example, you didn't happen to be friends with a world-class photographer, but you needed some photographs very quickly. What you could do is you could come into free images, and let's say we're going to select whatever it might be. Work from home, why not? Because we're all doing it. And we could just select one of those images, and there you go. So there's that'll place it in. So there's absolutely no need for coding. There's no need for anything like that. It will appear. I'm I'm going to come back out of the gallery section. The header section at the top we have here. If we click into that, this affects the very top of the page. So we have the ability to add a logo. So we can select image. I'm going to upload my logo in there, and we'll select that. And so my logo is now going to appear, and we can customize various things about it, the width of the logo, the size of the logo, whatever it might be. We can also have an announcement bar. So to show you the example earlier on at the very top of this page, spring sale now on. Again, that's in the header section. So we can say, we just click to say we're going to show the announcement bar, announce something here. Well, we can say, 10% off everything. I'm going to very much a northeast go away. So 10% off everything this week only. And we can, customize in terms of the color of the text, the color of the bar, whatever it is. So there's plenty we can go in and mess around with to get things looking exactly as we would want. So I'll show you, because I have prepared an example of this. And so if you just want to see kind of what it would look like in the back end, so that the store that I created earlier on, each section here would be populated with images, it'd be populated with text, it'd be populated with whatever I felt I needed to add to get the effect that I got on the final page. So you can see our header section here, we have gallery, we have Brian's crafts. So click on one of those and it will take you into the specific section of the page. Okay, so we've looked through products, we've looked through collections, we've looked through how to actually put the web page together. I'm probably not going to win any design awards, but you get the idea, I hope. The next thing we want to do is we want to focus on how to actually take payment. So if you click bottom left-hand corner, if you click, and I'm going to make sure I'm in the right store here as well. Give me one moment. Yeah. There we are. That's where I want to be. Bottom left-hand corner, we click on settings. Now, there are a lot of settings that you have control over in Shopify. One of those settings is payments. So this is how you actually accept payment, if it's credit card payments or if it's PayPal or whatever it might be. There we are. So just to give you a kind of brief overview of the other settings, so if you want to set particular shipping rates, if you want to kind of change how you charge taxes, if you want to enable gift cards, which is a great idea at the moment, if you want, people can support your store that way. But we're going to go into payments. And what we should see at the top is Shopify payments. So Shopify payments is Shopify's own payment gateway. This is how we can accept payments, Visa, MasterCard, American Express. We can also accept payments. Apple Pay and Google Pay would be within that as well. So what you can do is if you click on complete account setup, there'll be a form there. You can add your bank account, so we actually know where to send the funds when you receive your orders. Beneath that, one important thing I should say about Shopify payments is the transaction fee, which is 0%. So because Shopify payments is Shopify's own baby, we don't need to charge any kind of extra transaction fees or anything like that. So they are avoided. Underneath that, then we have the PayPal, we have the express checkout. So when customers actually get to the checkout, they would have the option to pay via PayPal, and the proceeds of that would go to your PayPal account, or they would pay via Shopify payments, and the proceeds of that would be sent to your bank account by us. So if, for example, I was to go to my web page and I was to click on one of the sun hats, and I was to add it to the cart, and I was to follow through the usual process of purchasing an item that we're all very used to, how is it actually going to look for you on the other side? I'll bring you back to that order from earlier on. We saw kind of at the beginning, there was one example. Let's say, for example, someone makes an order. what happens is you will get a notification. You'll get an email notification just to say, hey, someone's made an order on your store. And you'll also get a notification. You'll see a little open icon here. So we've got one open order. So if I click into this order, and I want to know, okay, where am I shipping? Who's purchased this? What have they purchased? All of that information is going to be visible to us on this page. So we can see at the very top, we can see when they've ordered. We can see what they've ordered. We can see the status of it. Has this been fulfilled? Have we actually brought this to the post office and sent it off? Or does it still have to be actioned? Beneath that, we can see the breakdown of how much they've spent when it comes to shipping, how much was tax, and so on. All that breakdown is there. Underneath that, we have the timeline. There's me a couple of years ago when I had hair. We've got, yes, we can see an exact breakdown of every single step of that order. So we can see when the order was placed, how much is going to be added to your payout, what card was used. We can even see the last 4 digits of what card was used. Over on the right-hand side, we are going to see the customer's name. We're going to see their email address, and we'll also see if they have actually, accepted email marketing. So will you be able to contact them again about offers and so on? You'll see the shipping address, and you'll also see some information there in relation to fraud analysis. So you can see, say, if, for example, if something is very high fraud, then you can take extra steps just to make sure that you're fully covered with that. So that is what an order would look like to you. Now, we've done a lot in the last, what I'm guessing is about 26, 27 minutes. I might be optimistic on that, but I think it's about that time. What do we actually do when you've done everything, you've gone through your trial period? What do you actually do when it comes to launching the store and putting it out there live? So if we click on Online Store and then click on Preferences, this is where that is located. And here we go. Perfect. Mentioned SEO before. In fact, Michelle mentioned SEO at the start. Another good example here of how it can be used in the context of the Shopify admin. We've got, you can put in your homepage title and you can put in your meta description, and that would be pulled by Google for what they show. A couple of things here. You have the ability to add a social sharing image. So when you're sharing your website on, if it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever it might be, that image is what is shown. You can connect up your Google Analytics, your Facebook Pixel. So this is for tracking, whether you're doing that for, if you're following your analytics in Google, or if you're doing so within Facebook, you can add those in there. Then at the very bottom, we have password protection. So right now, my store is not live. We simply have this this button here, and if we uncheck that box, that means the store is live. So what are people seeing right now? I'll just show you. If we go back into our themes, there we go. Because when you're kind of putting your store together, when you're in your trial time and you're kind of, you're beginning to advertise the fact that, this website is coming soon, you want to actually be able to demonstrate to people that you have a presence, and also particularly useful for collecting email addresses for, people that want to sign up to your mailing list so they know when you're actually going live. Now, what we can do is we can change the home page to the password page. Now, it doesn't look particularly exciting. I think I had it all spruced up on the other account. But what they would see is right now it just says Brian's Arts and Crafts. So if you have a logo, your logo would be showing there. You'd be able to change this text. So coming soon, you'd be able to give more specific details about when you're actually launching. And you also have the ability to direct people to subscribe for news, new products information, whatever it might be. And that is it. So I think that is everything on my end, and yeah, and we will move along to the Q&A.
Brian, thank you so much for that. I noticed in the chat that Michelle, you've been answering some questions as we go along, and then we might sort of open up now, if you're okay with that, questions to the wider audience. And I see a very interesting one come in about images. and making images the same size. And Michelle has kindly offered that Shopify, that you would work through people with that element of things, and that you'd recommend a tool like a Canva. And apropos of that, you might have worked yourself into another bit of work with me and the webinar series, because earlier this week it came up that someone said, could we have a session on that? So maybe we'll do a session on that combined with something else. So
sure, yeah. It's a really useful free tool for lots of things, including resizing images. It came up in another answer there where somebody wanted a different font on their images than they have in the rest of the store. So what I would say there is go into Canva, put whatever font text you want on the image, save it as an image and put it back in, you know. So there's always little workarounds like that once you know where to look. But those questions are exactly what we handle in Shopify support, where you could come in. There's no such thing as a stupid question. I've also felt a bit of a tone there in some of the questions that people feel like they're silly questions, but that's what we eat up all day long. We're here to help.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's no such thing as a stupid question. And the look and feel of your store is so important. And if you're not happy with it, you're not proud of it, of course you're not going to push it, you know. So you have to feel so proud of your store. So we're more than happy, whether it's resizing an image, changing a bit of text, right up to the really complicated SEO kind of stuff. We're there for it all.
Okay, so I think we'll definitely take you up on that. You're getting an awful lot of praise here. Someone said it's a very nice session, that it's really clear, and a refreshing personalities, I suppose, so, because it's been absolutely wonderful. I was just wondering, do the two of you want to add anything or address any questions as a group now? Or are you happy? Is everybody happy?
I presume everybody was kind of reading through each other's questions too. So sometimes if you answer a question that everyone can see the answer, then they don't necessarily feel they have to ask it then. There's a couple more here.
One thing just kind of, and this might be of use to people as well, is the theme I was working on there is Debut. Debut is a Shopify built theme. So when people actually sign up to a plan and they're using Shopify, there is something called design time. So say, for example, if there was a kind of a customization that people wanted, if they wanted kind of more spacing in between products or whatever it might be, you know, reduction of spacing in the header, there's any number of things that people might want, that our theme support team can actually support people. I think it's 60 minutes of requests. So say if somebody said, you know, can I please have some space reduced there, that might be like a 5 or 10 minute job, and that would simply be removed or reduced from their 60 minutes of design time. So it's worth knowing. And now they can't do it, like if, for example, you wanted to turn your website upside down or something completely insane, then they would not be able to support that. But there's a lot that they can help with. So just to kind of continue the last point there.
Okay, Gary has drawn our attention, and we were talking about this in our webinar last week as well, to the great initiative that the Leo's offering, the trading online voucher, and that the gearing has changed. It's up to €2,500. As we know, where clients used to pay 50% of this, clients now have to pay 10%. So the liability to the client is €250, and the Leo is willing to pay the 90% balance of that. So that's actually a really super one. I've spotted one here. Michelle, let me see. Okay, can you load up all this information from an iPad?
Yeah, so we have a Shopify app. So shopify.com is where you'll go and get set up and log in and join us. And then if you download the Shopify app, you can manage your store from there. You could literally write a blog post, publish products, you know, handle queries from customers, mark things as fulfilled. You can do everything that you can do on the Shopify admin in there. So yes, you can do it from an iPad.
Okay, here's another one. If products are different weights, thus different shipping costs, how can we deal with this?
So it's something that you're going to set up yourself in your shipping settings. So you decide what each product is going to cost to ship. Some people have free shipping strategies where they incorporate it into the price of the product and then just say free shipping, which is encourages a lot of people to complete the checkout. But if it can do it by weight or by price or by specific products, but you're in total control of what it costs to ship things.
Brilliant. A lot of thank yous coming in again. Great session. Okay, here we have one. Michelle and Brian, I run my website on Shopify and I'm really pleased with it. I had no previous experience of website building and managed it without any major issues. And it's easy to make changes as you go along too. So that's very optimistic for everybody.
Great. Good to hear, Anne. Thanks.
That's a thumbs up for you guys, okay? So next one here. Hi, Michelle. I have a site hosted by Wix at the moment, just expired. Can I keep my domain?
So it depends on where they bought the domain. So if Jane bought the domain from Wix, then she needs to go in and just make sure that she's paid up to date on owning the domain, and then change 2 settings in what's called the DNS settings. There's an A record and a CNAME record. And I know I'm losing people already with it's the tech talk. It's okay. It's 2 things we need you to change to point to Shopify. And then it's 2 clicks in your online store domains of your Shopify admin to connect that domain to us. So once you own the domain, you can connect it to your Shopify store, no problem.
Okay, do you think we'd be able to write that one down afterwards?
Absolutely.
Those instructions, that'd be really super. Okay, there's someone else say, great presentation. Can my current theme be automatically changed or do I need to manually change it?
You need to change it. So nothing would automatically change on your theme. You would if you wanted to change over to a different theme or you want to customize the one you have, you'd have to go into your admin and do those things manually.
Okay. Are the paid themes a once-off payment on top of my yearly subscription?
Yes,
Yep.
It is a once-off payment and then you're licensed to use that paid theme on that store for 12 months and they're $180. And that's something that you could put through the online trading voucher as well.
Okay, so does that answer that question? What price is it per month?
Per month, Shopify is $29.79 or $229 are our plans. The $29 basic plan would be more than sufficient for most businesses. And the themes then are a once-off payment of $180.
Okay, that's very, very clear. Carriage. Is carriage added automatically?
So as in shipping rates?
Yeah, I'm getting that impression, yes. Carriage,
Yeah.
shipping carriages.
So it wouldn't be added automatically because it varies so much from business to business and then within each one from product to product. Or if you're shipping something to another county in Ireland, it might be a completely different price than shipping it to the UK or further afield. So you go in and set all that up in your shipping settings. So you would have to get the rates from OnPost or Fastway or whoever is the carrier and then come in and set those up in your settings and shipping.
We have interest here in a Canva webinar, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to look at your diaries and see when you can fit us all in again. I'm just wondering if we've any others. I just squeeze in one here. Okay, this is a person who used Fix.com, moving because it no longer fits my needs. Elevated and thrilled both Shopify and Squarespace, and have decided to go with Squarespace. Shopify is a fabulous platform, but more e-commerce focused. I find it difficult to get website template design set up, and I think Squarespace does this better. Okay, bit of contention. Off we go.
That's fine. So look,
fine.
Yeah, because honestly, we are genuinely here for whatever suits your business. We will never try and sell you something that you don't need. We will never try and upgrade you to something that is not going to benefit your business. So we're in this, and I don't even just mean in the crisis times, we're in this together. We've always had that attitude that we're here for whatever works for you. So if something works better on another platform, another payment provider, another something, we are absolutely go for you. That's great.
Yep, 100%.
And I would reiterate that this is not a sales pitch. It's to increase our knowledge and allow all of you to make a discerned decision and judgment on it. Okay, here's a more technical one coming in. Is there a limit to the amount of pages you get?
Nope. And no limit to the amount of products you can have either.
Okay. And what is the optimal size for an image? I've been using Canva and making images 250 by 250.
So that's a square image. And it depends on whereabouts you're talking about. So there would be different dimensions, Brian. I don't know them off the top of my head. For the banner on the homepage, for collection, cover pictures, for product images, they vary.
Yeah, there's a really useful link actually, which I'll put in. Different themes might require different sizes, and there's a help doc for each theme. So if you decide you're going to go with the Brooklyn theme or the Venture theme, there are kind of guidelines about what the optimal images for the banner or for products or whatever it might be. So yeah, I can make sure that information gets out there.
Okay, how would you recommend managing multi-currency shopping?
So it depends on whether it's available in your settings or not. Sometimes it's available in your settings that you can switch that on if you're using Shopify payments. So have a look in settings, payment providers, see if you can switch it on in there. It's not available to all stores just yet. And then if it's not in there, then the answer 9 times out of 10 is going to be go to the App Store. So apps.shopify.com. And there are apps there that will display your prices in the customer's currency, and it'll pick up where they are by their IP address. So it'll show a British customer pounds, and it'll show an American customer US dollars, a Canadian customer Canadian dollars, and so on. So it's intelligent that way. Some of those apps do cost a few dollars extra a month onto your bill, but it's absolutely worth it if it means that those international customers convert quicker.
Okay, I'm going to rapidly run through them now because I've been told I have about 4 minutes left on this. Okay, info on linking Instagram account through the Shopify website would be great too, please.
Sure. So if they go to help.shopify.com and search for any of these topics, there will be a step-by-step guide there. And then that's also where, if they get stuck, they can come through to support and we'll walk them through it. So it is in their Shopify admin, it's called a sales channel, and they're going to need to add the Instagram sales channel and follow the steps from there.
Okay, quick one. Does Shopify bill monthly or yearly, or does one have a choice?
One has a choice, yeah.
And if you pay annually, it's 10% cheaper than 12 times the monthly price. If you pay for 2 years, there's a further discount. If you pay for 3 years, it's actually a 20% discount. So what a lot of Irish people are doing now is paying annually or 2 years or 3 years. Once they're ready to make that commitment, they're making that saving already. And then they're taking that invoice and getting 90% of that back from their Leo online trading voucher. So they don't have a Shopify bill to worry about for a very long time.
Okay, I think that's a good one to remember. Mm-hmm. Shopify YouTube channel is great. Have a look. That's a bit of advice. And we have another one here. Is there a limit to blog size, space, or complexity?
There is a limit to how many characters you can put in our blog posts. I can't remember how many it is, but I know it's way above what I would actually recommend you put in anyway, because you will not keep people's attention reading for thousands of words anymore. To write a book, it's not going to work as a blog post.
Okay. Apart from the subscription fee and theme fee and App Store options, do we need to consider any costs in addition?
Advertising. I would say to everybody, include an advertising budget, because as much as this is your own store and you're building your own brand, that's great. But you could build a perfect store, and if you're not driving any traffic over to it, no one knows it's there. So always incorporate some sort of budget there for paid ads to drive traffic over.
Okay. Thank you so much, Michelle, Brian, Gary. It was incredibly informative this afternoon. And I'm sure, I know that you've had links with Kristen and Arina, and they presented at your in-company conference last year. So I'm sure you will smile favorably on the craft and design sector where fees are concerned. And I'm going to be in contact with you to come back and give us a piece on Canva and hints. So thank you very much. And thank you to our audience today. And on that, have a nice weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, Emer.
Bye now.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Cheers, Emer. Bye.